When little girls imagine their wedding day, they imagine themselves in a big white dress, surrounded by friends and family. But what little girls don't dream about is a global pandemic. And with COVID-19 closing bridal shops, churches, and other businesses, brides are having to make adjustments to their big day. North Canton, Ohio, and Saarbrücken, Germany are nearly 5,000 miles apart. And that distance can seem even greater when you don't know when you'll be home next.
Beginning Monday, Richland Avenue will close for more than 5 months. Richland is the latest street to close for a construction project. When completed, pedestrians and drivers will be a lot safer, but that hasn't stopped them from being upset about the inconvenience. Beginning this year, hybrid drivers will now pay $100 and electric $200 a year for registration fees. This is a huge difference from the typical $35 fee for regular vehicles.
The construction definitely makes me want to avoid West Green, which is really sad because I like it over there.
Student Maddie Lale's reaction is one that many share about the closure of Richland Avenue. Richland is heavily used by both pedestrians and vehicles. Students use it as a way to West Green, and cars use it to travel uptown. Athens Service Safety Director Andrew Stone says the area became congested in the 1960s when West Green was constructed.
Ever since, we've had pedestrian and vehicle conflicts in that roadway, just by the nature of there being a large volume of pedestrians and a large volume of vehicles.
This is why the city and university are working together to make the intersection safer.
The plan is to elevate the roadway and create a passageway underneath for pedestrians to use. The project is possible thanks to a federal highway grant worth nearly $2 million.
But the grant won't pay for everything. The city is expected to pay over $1 million, and the university will contribute about $700,000. Stone says he hopes the passageway will end up being more than just another construction project.
You know, we hope it will be a special place in the city and the university and not just a traffic feature.
While the new passageway may make life easier for those traveling through the area, drivers like student Alex Laughlin are frustrated about yet another closure on campus.
To get to campus, I'm going to have to drive all the way around, and yeah, it just feels like one on top of a lot of shut down streets that make driving around on campus harder.
They're great for the environment. I think they're really efficient and sustainable, and I think that they should be more widespread.
Student Lily Morris is just one of around 1 million across the country who have benefited from an electric car. As of 2018, close to 900,000 vehicles were on the road. While that has been good for the owners of these cars, highway maintenance fees have suffered as gasoline taxes have decreased. These new fees will restore those taxes.
Beginning this year, hybrid drivers will now pay $100 and electric $200 a year for registration fees. This is a huge difference from the typical $35 fee for regular vehicles.
According to the Legislative Service Commission, the new fees could cost hybrid and electric drivers an extra $15 million a year. The fees were a part of a transportation budget bill passed by lawmakers in April of 2019. Lawmakers added the fees to accompany a rising gas tax in the state. They thought the fees would make electric drivers pay just as much as conventional drivers. Morris said she understood Ohio lawmakers' decision, but did not find it fair.
I think that it's kind of ridiculous, honestly. I think that it discourages people from using these hybrid and electric vehicles, which are obviously better for the environment. And so by discouraging, it kind of is also taking away from this environmental movement that we're trying to make of sustainability and energy efficiency.
When little girls imagine their wedding day, they imagine themselves in a big white dress, surrounded by friends and family. But what little girls don't dream about is a global pandemic. And with COVID-19 closing bridal shops, churches, and other businesses, brides are having to make adjustments to their big day. When Cassandra Keen's fiancé Joe proposed a year ago, she was overjoyed. And within 3 days of the proposal, Keen had already booked a venue and a caterer.
Big ticket things. I got all that done even before I started classes in August.
Then the COVID-19 outbreak began, and Keen said the virus and social distancing requirements took her by surprise. She says the effects of the outbreak didn't sink in until later.
idea or like no thought in my mind that this would affect my wedding, probably for the first like week or two.
Luckily, Keen said she has a good relationship with the small businesses helping with her wedding, and each of them have been accommodating. Keen has also been relying on a bridal Facebook group. She says this is where she started to gather ideas for a plan B for her wedding.
Took a lot of like ideas from just like I guess like stuff that I saw on social media, just from people I knew, people I didn't know, and also just thinking of like what would be best in my situation.
Keen says she and her fiance are considering multiple ideas, including a live stream of the ceremony or a small ceremony in June and a reception in the months to follow. While COVID-19 is affecting her dream wedding, Keen says how the wedding happens isn't important.
I'm still marrying the love of my life, and a virus isn't going to affect it.
Keen says she still plans to move forward with her June wedding date, and she'll make adjustments as needed. For News at Noon from North Canton, Ohio, I'm Caitlin Hunt. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency has changed the way we make purchases, but it will no longer be an option for tax payments in Ohio. Attorney General Dave Yost said he sees no reason to use any currency other than the American dollar. Yost is strongly opposed to Bitcoin and shut down the state website ohiocrypto.com. Plan for faster internet for Athens County faces some obstacles that the rest of the state doesn't have to deal with. News at Noon reporter Molly O'Brien is live in the newsroom. Molly, why is it a difficult problem to solve, especially in our area? Ohio is investing in children affected by the opioid crisis. The Department of Human Services will provide nearly $1 million in emergency funds for county children's services agencies. The money can be used to help with staff, child funerals, or other emergencies. A record 16,000 children are in custody in Ohio, including hundreds in Athens County because of parent or guardian addiction.